A very good morning to you. Welcome to the Breakfast Sports with me, Merit J, on your favorite dial, Super 93.3 FM Port Harcourt. It's a magnificent Monday morning, the 30th day of May 2022. There were thrills and excitement, lots of goals scored in the NPFL and controversies, of course. But I think I'd be right to say welcome back from what will be largely remembered as the weekend when what started out and remained for most of the season as a dream of an unprecedented, magnificent quadruple fizzled out into the reality of nothing but a domestic cup double. We're going to talk about that because of what happened over the course of the weekend. We'll be extracting the performances of the top clubs in Europe and whether or not these teams have had a successful season. Of course, we're asking you a big question this morning. Who are the best three teams in Europe? The league season for the top five leagues in Europe ended over the course of the weekend in that UEFA Champions League final. And now we're asking, who are your top three teams for the season? Not just in England, in Italy, in Spain, in France and Germany, all the top five leagues combined. I think we should say top six, but we always get to leave out the Portuguese Liga Sagres. But we want to know your top three or maybe top five teams in the just concluded season. For that, we'll be speaking to Kelechi Clifford over the air. He should be joining us any moment from now. Do not forget there was a game in the United States of America featuring the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Another loss, but some positive stake from that game. These and a whole lot more on the show this morning, so keep listening. All right, welcome once again to Super Breakfast Sports on this magnificent Monday morning. We'll start off talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. It was the first match of Coach Jose Peseiro's reign as head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. A largely understrength Super Eagles squad fought courageously and commendably against CONCACAF's perennial champions Mexico in an entertaining game that ended 2-1 at the iconic AT&T Stadium in Dallas on Saturday night, or if you were viewing from Nigeria, 1 a.m. Sunday morning. Jose Peseiro opted for a flexible 3-5-2 formation, which had Calvin Bassett and Alex Iwobia deployed, Moses Simon deployed as wingbacks. We also saw Joe Aribo in a fantastic display. He always represents, always puts up a good performance whenever he plays for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Well, the Super Eagles lost. It was a friendly game. The last time we played Mexico, it was 4-0. And I'm certain Jose Peseiro did not enjoy starting his reign as Super Eagles head coach with the loss. And this is what he had to say after that game.
When you cannot control the match, the game with the ball, Aribo cannot put the best for them. I like to play. I like to control the game more in front. I like to further less, like in the first half. I like to pressure more. I pressure. But okay, we start now. 2 trainings on our own match. I lost. I'm not happy for that. I'm happy for the performances, of course. But we have time for improve our team.
Certainly, Jose Peseiro, like you heard him say, was not impressed, wasn't happy about the loss, but he was happy with the performance of the team. And hopefully we can see them perform better in a couple of days' time, on Thursday to be precise, when they take on the Ecuadorian national team in another friendly game before they head back to Nigeria for the AFCON 2023 qualifying fixture against Sierra Leone at the MKO Abiola Stadium. Now let's talk about the NPFL, because there were big games played in the NPFL over the course of the weekend and some big results that should go all the way in determining how the league plays out for some of the top clubs in the NPFL. Rivers United were on the winning side and they won away from home, which is quite remarkable because at this point in the season, every team playing at home has the advantage. Everybody knows that the points are crucial. You cannot slip up at this point in time. But Rivers United, after going 2 goals, they were 2-1 inside the second half, in the 82nd minute. First of the brace for Malachi Ohaume got things leveled at 2-2, and I'm sure Rivers United and the supporters would not mind taking a 2-2 draw at Dakar FC. But what did you know? In the 91st minute, Malachi Ohaume completed his brace to earn Rivers United a hard-fought 3-2 away victory and 3 points to maintain their lead at the top of the NPFL table at 7 points. Let us hear from Coach Stanley Eguma on his thoughts after that game.
A well-contested game. I commend my players for putting up a good effort and playing to instruction. We're actually prepared to win this game. Not that we underrated our opponents, but the fact that we know that where we're heading to, we expected to put in our best to ensure that a match of this magnitude will pick the 3 points, especially at this time of the league. We also know that Dakar team will come out stronger because fighting relegation is not an easy task. We know they are going to fight with all armories in their kitty, and that is why the game was so tough. The players gave their best. I commend their courage. Even when we scored them early, they fought back, showed character and fought back and showed that yes, they are really up for to this game. But my players, I will also say that they lived up to the billing. Our tactical plan was marshaled out accordingly. They showed a lot of tactical discipline because by the time we came in from the break and considered that early goal, we didn't sit back. We continued fighting harder, firing from all cylinders until after those tactical changes I made, which brought in Malachi Ohaume, Fabio and Solomon. They came and they changed the tide of the game, and not surprising when Malachi scored those quick 2 goals. I think that gave us the victory. But today we're able to get the 3 points to help us in our title chase.
Like you've heard from the gaffer, the boss himself, some people call him the Harry Redknapp of Nigerian football. Coach Stanley Eguma, well-earned victory and good for the title credentials of Rivers United this season. In other results, MFM defeated Gombe United by 3-1 to strengthen their chase to survive in the NPFL. Sunshine Stars were 2-0 better than Katsina United. Enyimba defeated Nasarawa United in a 5-goal thriller. 3-2 it ended in favour of the People's Elephant. Plateau United hammered Enugu Rangers by 4-0 in Jos. Whooping result that. Wiki Tories defeated Abia Warriors by 1-0. Remo Stars were the home team in Ikene, Ogun State, but Kano Pillars still chasing survival in this season's NPFL, and a remarkable 3-1 victory away from home against a side inside of the top 4 before that fixture. So really good one for the Saima Sugida. Akwara United defeated Akwa United by 1-0. Heartland were 3-1 better than Shooting Star Sports Club of Ibadan. And the game between Niger Tornadoes and Lobby Stars was suspended because after going into the halftime break, the Lobby Stars team, like we have been told, refused to come out after allegedly being attacked by the home supporters. We wait to hear from the NPFL and the LMC what actions will be taken considering that game. And now, for our big discussion this morning, let us head on to Kelechi Clifford to link up with him now on Super Breakfast Sports as we talk about the UEFA Champions League final, European club football for this season, and the best teams on display. Good morning to you, Kelechi. Nice to have you on the show this morning.
Good morning to you, Mary J. Thank you for having me on the show today.
UEFA Champions League final ended last during the weekend on Saturday, to be precise. It was maybe what a lot of people expected because of the record. Real Madrid defeating Liverpool by 1-0. First of all, your reactions to that final before we get into the main talking point.
Well, I could say that it was a wonderful final. It lived up to expectations, especially, even from the build-up, fans not being able to get into the stadium as well. There was so much crisis initially before the game had to be delayed. Real Madrid, of course, we all know what they're good at. They're very, very clinical in front of goals. Liverpool really were almost like the better team. They had about 24 shots on goal and 9 on target. But that man, Thibaut Courtois, making it really decisive there. Put up an astonishing show that really actually decided the game. Thibaut Courtois was really fantastic, and I felt that without even goal, I think Liverpool would have won this one. But Real Madrid, of course, we all know how critical they can be. The magic continued up until the final, where it really mattered, and that's why they're one of the most successful teams in this competition. And I felt that they really deserve to win this title. Of course, when you look at the caliber of team that they knocked out, especially in the manner that which they knocked them out, you would just say that they really, really deserve this one. So I really, really enjoyed it. Of course, my man of the match was Thibaut Courtois, and he really, really put up a show and showed why he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
Of course, certainly man of the match for, I think, everybody. Maybe some will pick Vinicius because he scored the winning goal, but Thibaut Courtois, without him, like you said, Real Madrid loses that game fair and square against Liverpool. And now that brought an end to the season across Europe's top five. That was the only game remaining. The guys in Italy had already go on a sabbatical. The guys in Germany, the guys in France, the guys in England, majority of them. Only Liverpool and Real Madrid had business over the course of the weekend. So effective end to the season across Europe. And the big question we're asking this morning is, who has been the best team in Europe for this season? The 2021-2022 football season, who has been the best team? For majority of the season, it looked like it was going to be Liverpool, but I'm sure a lot of those narratives must have changed because of what happened in the weekend. So first question is, what do you consider when you are asked to select the best teams in Europe?
There's several factors you have to consider when selecting the best teams in Europe. Of course, we all look at what they brought to the end, to the trophy cabinet at the end of the season, which is really, really key. We all judge big teams these days by trophies that they bring in at the end of the season. And so definitely as a team, you want to win titles. That should be the goal. That should be the primary goal if you want to be a top team. So what makes you a top team in Europe? The first thing is what you achieve at the end of the season, which is titles. That's why we have by the fact that they've not been a good team for a couple of years now. But those are teams. That's how you rate yourself, what you bring at the end of the season. Of course, another thing is the mentality of your team, how consistent they are, what do they want to achieve. And what makes you a top team is several factors too. You're a side that wants to just survive relegation, a side that just wants to finish in the top four. There's several factors that makes you a top team. And when you marry all of this together, that's what defines a top team in any team in Europe or any country.
All right, I think you've put it right. Many factors, especially from where you're looking out for, because some people could say Arsenal had a good season, but they didn't win any titles. Still had a good season, and now when you talk about titles, there were a couple of winners. Bayern Munich won the league in Germany, something that we expected, but did not win the cup. So not very exciting from a Bayern Munich point of view. In Italy, we saw Inter Milan with the cup, and then we saw AC Milan with the league title. In France, it was PSG winning the league title, not winning the cup because it was Nantes who won the cup. In England, Liverpool got the two local cups, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Manchester City got the Premier League. Eventually, no English team won the Champions League. Real Madrid won the league and the Champions League. And also, I think one of those cups in Spain as well. So with the style of play, with the mentality of all these top teams, who would you pick as your best team for this season?
If you look at what the clubs you just mentioned and what they achieved, you've definitely got to give it to Real Madrid. Of course, the Champions League gives you an edge. That what really makes you a good team. Everybody wants to win it. It's the most elite prize in Europe. So once you win the Champions League, of course, you're definitely the best in Europe. Real Madrid, the fact that they won the Champions League really put them up there because I think the league title they won this season really cancels out every other title that other teams have won, whether it's PSG, whether it's City, whether it's Porto, whether it's Bayern Munich, whoever they are. Of course, winning the league title definitely gives you that edge. And then the Champions League gives you that extra edge. And that's why we call it the best team in Europe, because you win the Champions League. So for Real Madrid, of course, they're the best team in Europe because of what they've done, especially the team that they put to the sword during the different rounds. Of course, how and the manner at which they won the Champions League, which is really, really brilliant and commendable. Definitely want to be one of those Champions League runs that you definitely want to talk about every single time. So for Real Madrid, I think Carlo Ancelotti, of course, has really turned them into a bigger team again. And then, for me, they're the top team in Europe and the best team in Europe, in my opinion.
Yeah, best team in Europe, Real Madrid. Maybe some people would like to argue with that, but I would really love to see those who want to argue with that. Of course, when you win the topmost competition in European club football, beating a lot of the best teams, you beat PSG, you beat Chelsea, you beat Man City, and you beat Liverpool. Certainly, that team has to be the best. But to close things out, my final question to you, Real Madrid, you've got Real Madrid at number one. Who would complete your top three or say top five teams for this season?
For me, I think Liverpool should be up there. Of course, I know that they didn't really win the Champions League, but they've got some, like you said, local cups, in their cabinets, and then that was really, really good. They pushed Manchester City up until the very end. They made it really, really fantastic. At some point, I thought that they were going to win the quadruple, but it slipped up, and that just tells you how life can change in a bit second. Like in 7 days' time, they ended up with the double, and of course, they've been fantastic all throughout the season. In the Champions League, of course, also in the league as well. So I think they should be second up there. Of course, they're the second best team as well in the Champions League. And then, of course, you've got to have a team like AC Milan. I think they've been brilliant all season. I would have put Manchester City above AC Milan, but the AC Milan, of course, winning the league is actually something new. Manchester City winning the league should be something that we're already used to, just like Porto or maybe PSG winning the league anywhere else. So I think AC Milan, they've got a fantastic manager, and of course, they put up a big fight in the Serie A, winning the Scudetto, which is really, really commendable. Of course, the manner in which they did it, they really dogged it, and they were a brilliant team all through. And so AC Milan will be number 3 for me. City should be up there because of how good they've been in the league as well. I mean, the amount of points they amassed this season, yeah, definitely City should be my number 4. I think Barcelona, with what Xavi achieved with them, should really, really be talked about. Of course, we didn't really expect Barcelona to finish in the position they finished this season. We all thought that Barcelona were going to struggle, especially before Xavi came in, and of course he came in and transformed Barcelona into an exciting side. They went unbeaten at some point until they lost, and then they lost in the Europa League as well. So for Barcelona, of course, they've had a fantastic season, so that they should make my number 5 there. I think that should be. I don't really see any number 6 team, and that should be my top team for me, top 5 team.
Well, I think I agree with your selections to an extent. Real Madrid at number 1, I would completely pick Real Madrid at number 1. Number 2, Liverpool with a local cup double, maybe a little bit debatable. I think I like the fact that you have AC Milan in there and Manchester City, but I think if we're being fair, I'd pick Chelsea, who won the Club World Cup and the UEFA Super Cup, inside my top 5. They finished 3rd in the Premier League and then reached 2 finals in the Cup. So I think, maybe I'd have Chelsea in my top 5. But thank you for your submission, and thank you for being a part of the Breakfast Sports this morning. Lovely hearing from you.
Yeah, thank you so much, too, for having me.
All right, guys, you've heard from Kelechi Clifford. He's picked his top 5. He's got Real Madrid at number 1, and I think a lot of people will have Real Madrid at number 1 because of what season they've had. He picked Liverpool at number 2, which is quite debatable if you consider that they won 2 local cups and nothing more. He had AC Milan at number 3, Manchester City at number 4, and his number 5 pick. Where's number 5 pick? Well, he had Manchester City at number 4. And he didn't pick Chelsea. That's what I can remember. I've forgotten what he picked at number 5. But we want to hear from you now on the Breakfast Sports. 0705 079 1021 0811 743 1021. Who are your first of all, the best team in Europe for you and your top 5 teams across Europe's major leagues at the end of the season. Who are those teams for you? You can also drop your comments via our social media at Super FM PH on Facebook and Twitter. We're live streaming on Facebook, and you can tweet at us underneath our post there on Twitter as well. Let's have our first caller on the show this morning. Good morning to you. Welcome to Super Breakfast Sports.
Yeah, good morning, Prince.
Good morning, Prince.
First, let me congratulate Rivers United for going away together with more studios to them, Rivers United.
Yeah.
So if you ask me, I would say Real Madrid, of course, no doubt, number 1 team. My second team would be Chelsea. Even though I'm not a Chelsea fan, I think they won the World Cup and Super Cup. Studios to them, that's a very big competition. They won that one. Then I'll take Man City, because of their points and marks in the Women's League, and went down the wire before they won it, so I'll give it a mark. Then my 4th team will be AC Milan. For the past 11 years, and usually won the title. Coming from behind, they win that title, so I'll give it to AC Milan, my 4th team. And I'll bring in Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool will come in, because they won the local cup. And finally, I will just give it to Tottenham. You know why? Nobody expected Tottenham. Yeah, nobody expected Tottenham to qualify for Champions League. If the money they came in, everybody was giving it to Arsenal. You know, based on the performance. So at the end of the day, Tottenham came back with their team to qualify for Champions League. So my top 5, I'll give it to Tottenham.
All right, thank you so much for your submission. Really interesting take there. Good morning. Welcome to Super Breakfast Sports.
Well, tell you my sports chief.
Good morning, the real gift.
Thank you very much. If we pick one as the best, we'll pick another 5 outside the best now. Is it not?
All right, feel free. Go ahead.
If we put the 5 plus the best, that means every time I look about this inside the same basket now. Well, for me, a good one, even though they scrub me for ground, they understand my point based on my prediction over the weekend.
Yeah.
But how we go do now? Let's say if he run, ball, get up, run again. Kudos to Rivers United also.
Oh, yeah.
They don't try. Definitely Jones United at this point in time, except now them do themselves for foundational powers. They should be able to win the league here. My top 5 or 6, because one, Real Madrid is the best for winning the Champions League at this point in time. So the remaining 5, what I'll go with Chelsea, Liverpool, AC Milan, Man City, and AS Roma.
Oh, yeah.
But if I be one wicked, I will take out, if you say 5, take out Man City for me, add AS Roma. That is out of wickedness.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning. Welcome to Super Breakfast Sports.
Good morning. My name is Giselle.
All right, go ahead, Giselle. Welcome.
Yes. If I should eat my own, Real Madrid remain number 1.
Okay.
They are the best for me. Because looking at the kind of people that are in that team, they call them old men that know how to construct.
Yeah.
With full experience. I'll give them number 1.
All right.
But after them, I should pick my own 5. Because already I predicted that in as much as Madrid have come to final, the cup belongs to them. I told everybody that if they don't play in Madrid, they will win very easy without no stress. So the next club I will see, my brother, no matter what, I know they lose out, but they didn't go empty-handed. I think I will give it to Man City.
Okay.
For now, in the whole world, they have the best players. I give them. Then the next one, let me consider Liverpool.
Okay.
So, well, I know in next season, Liverpool will fall below this standard, looking at what they are playing now. And then my next club is Roma.
All right.
It likes so much. So I'll give the first one to AC Milan.
Okay.
Then the next one, the last, will be Chelsea.
All right.
Because economic problem is facing them now because of the start of their the director or manager that owns the club.
All right.
You can see what's happening in the club now.
All right. Thank you
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning. Welcome to Super Breakfast Sports. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Breakfast show.
Good morning.
My name is Baridi Giadom, the radio governor.
All right, go
I'm
ahead.
calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, go ahead.
Number 1, no doubt, Real Madrid, followed by Chelsea,
All right.
AC Milan,
Okay.
Liverpool,
Uh-huh.
and Man City.
And Manchester City.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your submission this morning. And we've got a couple of comments from our social media. On Twitter, this coming from Coate Magnus. He says, the top teams should be Real Madrid number 1, Chelsea number 2, Liverpool number 3, Manchester City number 4. They all did well in their respective league vis-a-vis Europe. Once again, I say congratulations to Madrid for clinching the UEFA Champions League over the weekend. All right, thank you for your thoughts. And Kaludan, also on Twitter, he says, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Man City, my top 3 teams for this season. I'm a blue. All right. Really good one. He had Liverpool ahead of Real Madrid. Really interesting take there. And on Facebook, we have a comment on our Facebook, the legacy for my top 3 teams of the season based on performance and squad quality. It had Real Madrid number 1, Man City number 2, and Liverpool number 3. He said the Super Eagles match yesterday was okay, but another defense issues They allowed the Mexicans medical alerts. And one more comment on our Facebook before we leave from Olushola James. He says, without mincing my words, my top 3 clubs in Europe, the outcome of the season are Real Madrid number 1, Liverpool number 2, and Manchester City in that order. Well, thank you so much, Olushola James, for your comments. Phone line still buzzing. We cannot take your calls now, but what we can do is to take your thoughts by 5 p.m. when we return for Sports Traffic. Yes, I will be here. Sky will be here, and I'm sure we'll talk about this issue just to gauge your thoughts on who was your best team across Europe's top 5 leagues for the just concluded season. And in the NBA, just before we leave, Boston Celtics are into the NBA Finals at the expense of the Miami Heat. That is how much we have time for. Thank you for listening. Thank you for putting your phone call through to us, or at least attempting to do so. We will have ample time to attend to them by 5 p.m. But for now, we're saying have yourself a lovely Monday. It's the start of the week, so start it with a lot of energy and good fortunes.